Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to make this she shed sign. And you can use this for a plasma cutter, a laser, a vinyl cutter, Cricut, you name it, anything that cut on CNC out of some material, this is a great file for. I'm going to teach you how to create this from scratch, but I'm also going to give you a link in the description where you can download this SVG vector file for yourself for free. All I ask is that if you enjoy this video and you want more free files and you want to see more of these videos, please subscribe. That shows me that people are interested, and as long as people are interested, I'll continue providing things like this. Okay, I'm in Adobe Illustrator and I'm working with a pretty big artboard here. It's 24 inches by 24 inches. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to come over to my text tool and I'm going to select my text tool and click in my white area and just type the word she. Now the font I'm going to use for this is a really popular font. You'll find it in a lot of products that are for sale on Etsy and other online stores. A lot of people will rename this font just because they are trying to gatekeep a little and keep people from knowing what this font is. But I'm going to tell you, this font is called Medina Clean. You can purchase this font online. Just Google it. Great font. What I like about this font, what everybody likes about this font basically, is that this font, all the letters are connected. In other words, you can see that the S is connected to the H is connected to the E, and so on and so forth. And that's true throughout that whole alphabet in this font. And what that does is it allows us to, without any further modification, allows us to cut things like metal signs, wooden signs, and vinyl stickers without breaking or having a break in that artwork at all. Okay, so I've got the word she here. And I'm just going to, I could select the type tool again and click on here, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to hold down Alt, and I'm going to click she, and I'm going to drag, and that will create a new instance of the word she. And I'm just going to add a D to the end of this to make this shed. Now we'll go ahead and make this bigger. Let's see. It's going to look for something that looks good to me. What I'm doing is I'm just moving this around a bit to see, I want this to be pretty sturdy. And in order for it to be pretty sturdy, if I was just to connect these two right here, I'd only have one point of connection between these two words. And that's going to make it kind of flimsy. And I'm not saying that this, if I connected it two places, it's going to be a lot stronger, but it will be stronger. So what I'm trying to do is just align this where I've got 2 points of connection at least, to provide a little more strength. And I think I'm happy with where that is. All right, so what I'm going to do next, I like how this is situated. What I'm going to do next is I have on my clipboard an image I got off of Google image search of some flowers. I'll go ahead and paste that here. Here's those flowers that I took off the internet. This is a bitmap image. Basically, all I did is on Google, I just right-click and copied image. So this is a bitmap image. We need to change this into a vector. And I'm going to hang this off the side of my artboard so you can kind of see what's going on as we're doing this. I'm going to select this bitmap image. And I'm going to go up to Window, Image Trace. My image trace is already open. So I'm going to come over here to Image Trace. And here's my image trace panel. And I'm just going to, from this preset, I'm going to select black and white logo. Now because I have the preview button clicked, it's already traced this for me. I don't know if you saw that change. When I selected black and white logo, it did change this. So it's done. I'll redock this up here. It's done. All I have to do now is I have to separate the black from the white. And I'll do that up here with this expand button. I'll click expand, and now my black and my white are separated in this vector image here. I'm going to deselect by clicking outside of here. I'm going to select my direct selection tool, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to click any piece of white. So I'll just click this piece of white that's inside this flower, and I'm going to come up here to this icon up in your upper right hand corner, select similar objects. I'll click that and hit delete. Now what we're left with is this vector image of these flowers, but without our white background. They've been separated from our white background, and now the centers are hollow, which is what we want. I think I want to use these flowers as sort of a mounting point for this sign, so that somebody can drive a screw through these holes and use these holes to mount the sign, so they don't have to put a nail inside the H or something like that. Now you'll see that as I'm dragging this around, no matter which flower I click on, it's dragging the whole thing. You just want to ungroup it. We'll go to Object, Ungroup. I'll click outside of here, and if I click back on here again, now you'll see that I have all these flowers are separated into different objects. So I'm just going to move one of these flowers basically kind of over here. I want to aim maybe for the center of this sign, and I want this flower to connect to my S at 2 points, not just 1 point. I want this to be a strong sign, so I'm going to just rotate this flower a bit, like so, and then I can drag it over. I'll rotate it a little bit more. I'll drag it over, and then just have it overlap the side of my S here. Now I'm going to take the smaller flower, and I'm going to come over here to this side, and you'll see that I'm on center. Well, let's see there. Let's get there. So I'm on center here, at least vertically speaking. I'm on center with my other flower. So I'm just going to move this kind of to where I want it. And again, I'll rotate this flower until I think I can get some good contact between the flower and the rest of the artwork. And I think, let's try this, and let's drag this over. All right. So I've got 2 points of contact here. Now, we don't necessarily have to be on center, and I think that maybe if I move this up a little bit, we can make this look a little prettier. Just moving this with my arrow keys. And there we have it. And honestly, I'm pretty happy with this sign. Now, if you're going to cut this on a laser and make this out of wood, you're going to have no trouble cutting this. You can probably cut this down to 8 inches across, 9 inches across, and you're not going to have any issues. If you try to cut this on a plasma cutter, however, and you try to do this at 8 inches, you may be in for some trouble, especially on the end of this E, or these thin parts like where this S meets the H. You may have a little trouble getting that to cut on your plasma cutter without melting through completely. Okay, so let's do something. We're going to have to do this either way. Now, whether you are happy with this the way it is, or you want to make these lines a little thicker, either way, we need to make this all one image, right? Right now it's 4 components. It's 2 flowers and 2 pieces of text. But we need to convert this all into one thing. And the way we do that is I'm going to click my text, and I'll click on the word she. I'm going to hit Control-Shift-O. Control-Shift-O will turn this into an object. And you can see here, if I zoom in, you can see that I actually have lines. I have paths and anchor points that are cutting into each other. And I do not want this. We're going to fix that in just a minute. Okay. But for now, let's click on Shed, and we'll hit Control-Shift-O, and we will convert the shed portion over to an object as well. Now we have 4 objects. We have this left flower, we have the right flower, and then we have the shed and she. These are all objects now. These are not text layers anymore. If I double click on here, you notice I cannot edit this text. I cannot type a different letter in here. It's permanent. Okay. So before I show you how to make this all 4 pieces of this one solid unit, let me show you what I would do for this graphic if I was going to cut this on a plasma cutter. On a plasma cutter, I would want these lines to be a bit thicker. So I would just click here above the she shed, and I would just draw a selection box over both words. And then here I could go to Object, Path, and Offset Path. And with my Offset Path tool open, I'm just going to change this to a number. This is 0.02. It didn't really thicken up those lines a whole lot. Let's try to double that, a little more than double that. Let's do 0.05. And I'll click in this next box to apply it. And that looks a little thicker. I'll go ahead and hit OK. And you'll see now that these lines are a lot thicker. And this is going to be a lot friendlier when you go to cut this on a plasma cutter. Okay? Now I'm going to undo that because the file that I'm going to give you guys, I'm going to let you do this on your own. I don't want to permanently do this for you so that you can't modify it. So I'm going to undo that. I'm going to leave this as the thin text for the SVG that I'm going to give you guys. And then if it's not thick enough for you, if these lines aren't thick enough for you, you now know how to go in here and modify this so that they are bigger. Okay? And I think what I'll do is I'll provide you two files. I'll provide you one file that has all these four different components separate, and then I'll provide you one file that is truly ready to cut, where all these are one unit. So let's turn all these into one object now. And all you have to do for that is just click over here somewhere with your selection tool, drag over the whole thing, and then I'm going to go to Pathfinder. My Pathfinder window is right here. I usually always have it open. If you don't see yours, just go to Window, go down to Pathfinder. And using the Pathfinder tool, I'm just going to click on this first one called Unite. I'm going to unite this, and you'll see that this has now turned this all into one object. If I click outside of this and click this artwork anywhere, you'll see it all drags together. Okay? And that's really all there is to it. Now I've already saved this file, one version where these all four components are separated, and that's so that you can modify this if you need to. Let's go ahead, now that I have this united, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to file, save as. I'm going to save that as an SVG. It'll be She Shed Floral, and I'll just call it welded. And that'll be the one. This will be the one that if you just want to take this file and cut it right this moment, this is the one you want. And I'll provide you a link to both of these in the video description. You guys, thanks a lot for watching this video. I really appreciate your support and your nice comments. It's nice to see that people out there are getting some use out of these. And it sure is nice to have a good mix of nice comments to offset all the nasty things that people say to me. Again, if you like this file, if you like this video, please hit subscribe. That's how I know that you guys are interested in getting more of these. If I don't get a whole lot of subscribers on these videos, then I may not continue to do this. But if I see that people are subscribing and I see that people are interested, I don't know, maybe I'll do one of these every day and put up a free file that you guys can download and cut. I wish you guys the best of luck. Again, this is great for laser, great for plasma, great for vinyl cutting, Cricut, you name it. If you have any questions, you want to see anything in particular, let me know in the comments, and I'd be happy to try and produce what you're looking for. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.